There's an old African adage that states, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes that same village to give that child a safe, respected, and thriving community to live in. Our topic today is going to focus on repairing and revitalizing our community and the few citizens that have picked up this mantle to carry it through. My guest today is Mr. Adam Munday. Mr. Munday is the founder of a revitalization interest called the Genesis Project. We are going to meet this trailblazer and learn more about the Genesis Project after our commercial break. Stay tuned.
Dr. Tunishai Ford is an ordained minister, inspirational, highly motivational speaker, and acclaimed author of I Miss the Hugs, Not the Hurt, and This is a Comma in Your Life, Not a Period. To book Dr. Tunishai Ford to speak and motivate your staff, organization, or church, or to order her life-changing books today, I Miss the Hugs, Not the Hurt, and This is a Comma in Your Life, Not a Period, just visit drtford.com. That's drtford.com.
GNLD, empowering people since 1958 with life-changing products. Vitality Aloe Vera Plus reduces stress, fights fatigue, normalizes blood sugar. Trianin Grain Concentrate, enhanced cellular function. Full Motion renews and repairs cartilage in joints for comfort. For more information, call the ESIM team. Independent GNLD distributors at 313-408-6489. 313-408-6489. GNLD.
Welcome to another interesting and exciting episode of the Dr. Tunishai Ford Show. Today's guest is going to talk about something that's so dear to his heart. He's so concerned about our community. His name is Mr. Adam Munday, and we're going to talk about something that's very dear to him called the Genesis Project. Adam, pleased to meet you, and thank you so much for being a guest on my show.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Ford.
Adam, you have something that's so dear to your heart.
Yes.
And I want to have you on the show because I want you to share with our audience why you feel so dearly about the city of Detroit and what's going on right now. And before we go into that, tell me a little bit about your background in Detroit. How long have you been here, and how was things before you started the Genesis Project?
Well, I am a lifelong resident here in the city of Detroit. I was born and raised on the east side, still reside over there. The city of Detroit is my home, and it's near and dear to my heart, and this is, something that I have a vested interest in, because this is my home. And I want to make sure that I can be a part of the revitalization and the movement that the city needs to try to prosper.
Okay, now you started a project called the Genesis Project.
Yes.
Now, this is so interesting because the word Genesis means beginning.
Beginning, yes.
So why did you call this the Genesis Project?
Well, Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth was without due form. And it goes on to say in verse 3, and God said, let there be light, and there was light.
Yes.
Well, in saying that and how the Genesis Project was created, myself and Ernest Coverson, another lifelong Detroiter, we were riding through the city of Detroit on the northeast side, and we were just looking at how the area and the neighborhoods are compared to how they were 30 years ago. And we said to ourselves, what could we do as young men and everybody in this neighborhood to try to get our neighborhoods back to where it was before, hence the Genesis Project. So what we did, and again, just to try to rebuild and to try to, I guess you could say motivate, or I should say motivate, but
encourage, motivate, empower.
To empower the neighborhoods and try to get it back to what it was before. Back when I was growing up on the east side of Detroit, we were able to stay out, street lights were on, it was more safe.
I remember that.
There was times when you was able to walk to a liquor store without having the fear of getting shot.
Yes.
10:30 at night. Mm-hmm. There was a sense of security in your neighborhoods because you had everybody in your neighborhoods looking out for each other. It's not like that now in most areas, and we want to get that type of neighborhood back, not only in just the northeast side, but all around the city of Detroit.
Okay, but now explain to the audience what exactly is. Okay, now we talked about revitalization. Do you have a board working with you? Is the city council going to get involved? What exactly is the Genesis Project?
The Genesis Project, again, is a volunteer effort. It's just those who want to be involved in the process of rebuilding the city of Detroit or getting everything back to the way it was. again, it's strictly volunteer. We do it for the love of our city. We don't do it for any type of monetary or any type of glory. Again, we go into identified neighborhoods within the, we're particularly now looking or focusing on the northeast side.
Northeast. We
go into specific areas in that neighborhood or in that area, identify areas that have blight, abandoned homes, and what we do, we just pick a select a date that where we go and board the houses up, cut the grass, make it more safer for the residents in that community, and sooner or later, hopefully, it'll get to a point where we can get the attraction back into that area to where we can attract more people back into the city.
So how many people are on board right now? You've been talking to a lot of people, so you have a lot of people on board right now trying to help you with this project?
Well, we have a crew of people. I mean, it's not a significant number, but we do have people who help. Greater Detroit Restoration Project is one with Barry Ross and Minister Malik Shabazz. They're very, very useful and helpful with the Genesis Project, and that's another community project that goes on in the community and does the same type of work we do. Okay. So it's just a matter of getting everybody who has that same vested interest in trying to build the city back up or build the community back up, to try to get them all together and get the job done.
You know, I always say that you can take the man out of the ghetto, but you can always take the ghetto out of the man. All right, I don't mean that. I don't mean to be a stigma about calling it ghetto, because I don't mean any disrespect with that. But the neighborhoods have gone down. But I believe, Adam, that it's a mindset. So now you're talking about a physical change. What is your project going to do to change the mindsets of people? So once you get this sweep, so to speak, how are you going to maintain this?
We want this to be an example. We want this to be a model for our residents. When we go into these areas, we want to talk to the residents and the neighbors in that particular area. One, to get them involved, and the two, once we get, the area back clean and I shouldn't say usable, but get the area back livable again. To try to get those residents that are still there, to try and keep, have them to keep them or to keep the area clean, or try to maintain it the way we would normally try to.
Okay, but now look, be honest. There have been so many projects, and like, again, I'm not trying to dish what you're saying,
right?
But how many projects have come forth and we want to clean up Detroit? We're going to do this and we're going to do that. But before you answer that question, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Get a Grand Slam deal this week at Paul's TV. Get a free Boston Acoustic soundbar, a free Android 10-inch tablet, or a free 32-inch LCD TV with your qualifying TV purchase. And get it all with free delivery and our low price guarantee. It's a Grand Slam deal, not online, not at the warehouse stores. It's only at Paul's TV, the king of big screen, inside all Art Van furniture stores.
You probably think you have to know somebody to hire a great law firm. Well, you do know somebody. You know me, Jeffrey Feiger. You know what I stand for. You know that I fight for my clients' rights. And you know that Feiger Law has 18 of the best trial lawyers in America. Insurance companies, corporations, and government are counting on you to hire a lawyer who'll take any settlement they offer. But who will stand up for you when your life is on the line? We will.
Make tomorrow awesome with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Right now, you can get Xfinity TV for just $14.99 a month for 6 months with HD DVR service free for 3 months. Call 1-877-656-2548 today. Get the top networks and popular channels like AMC and Discovery in digital quality. Plus, never miss a thing with HD DVR service. Record your favorite shows and watch them on your schedule in stunning HD. Call 1-877-656-2548 and get Xfinity TV for just $14.99 a month for 6 months. Don't forget to ask how you can get Xfinity on demand with the best in entertainment anytime on any device. Plus premium channels like HBO and Showtime. Get Xfinity TV for just $14.99 a month for 6 months, with HD DVR service free for 3 months. Tomorrow could be awesome if you call today. Call 1-877-656-2548 and make the switch now. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Welcome back. We're talking to Mr. Adam Munday, and we're going to find all about the Genesis Project. Adam, before we went on break, I asked you what makes your project, the Genesis Project, different than all the rest, because so many people, so many organizations have tried to revitalize and restore Detroit. How is yours going to be different?
Well, in saying that, you have a lot of projects, or I shouldn't say projects, but you have a lot of community efforts out there like that. One, as I previously mentioned before, the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. They're a good entity to try and help restore the neighborhoods. Dr. Cullinan Hill and Greater Concord, they have, certain aspects as well. And then you have other organizations that come, say they're a believer of the city of Detroit and, want to come and try and board up houses or try and do the same things that we're doing, but you can't do that in a suit. You can't do that with a table and registration. You got to come out there with some gloves, some work clothes and the hammer and nails and get the job done. So again, we're not doing this for showmanship. We're not doing this for any type of monetary gifts or any type of glory. We want to do this for the residents, for their safety, and for, like I said, just to beautify and for the edification or the beautification of our city. Again, this is our home. This is my home. So you don't have to pay me to do something like this. I don't have to be, coursed or anything of that nature for me to come out and say, hey, this is my neighborhood. It's not safe. What am I going to do about it? And I think every resident needs to ask themselves that question. Okay,
but now, just piggybacking off of that, when do you think everything changed? Okay, now you said you've been in Detroit most of your life, all your life.
All of my life.
So can you give me a time frame when you think that things just began to go downhill, with the crime, the drugs? Because let me just make this statement. There was a time, and I'm going to think probably the late 80s, early 90s, when there was a slew of children just being killed in the city of Detroit. I don't know if you recall that. It was every week was like all you heard about was children being killed, drive-bys and things like that, And again, we're talking about not just cleaning up on a physical basis, but changing the mindset. And I'm gonna have you talk about that in a few minutes, but when do you think things actually started to change?
It was, in my opinion, it was around that time, my opinion, when the residency law for our police, our safety people, when that was released and they were able to move out of the city and live wherever they would please, that's when I think the safety of our city went downhill. There's got to be a way for us to try to attract our police back into our city. I was talking to some people earlier this week, and I was saying to them, when you have cities such as Southfield or Farmington or wherever our police are living at, you can see the security in those neighborhoods, because not only do they have our police living out there, they have their police living out there. Correct. Good example. Southfield police, I'm sure they live in Southfield. Well, so does Detroit police. So you don't have a lot of crime or the situations that you have in Detroit in Southfield.
So I guess if you had a police officer living next door to you, you know what I'm saying?
Let me give you a good example.
Okay.
Back when I was living on Goddard and 7 Mile, James Bivens, he's now the chief of staff for the Wayne County prosecutor, Kim Worthy. Well, he lived right next door to me. And at that time, I believe he was the right-hand man to Gil Hill, who at that time was police chief. We didn't have no problems on Goddard.
I can imagine.
We had no problems on Fleming, Lumpkin, St. Albans, none of them. And that was just because of his presence, and not only his presence, but just Detroit police presence in general.
Okay.
You don't when you have police living in your city, and you won't have a 14-year-old going and breaking into a house raping someone. You won't have people breaking in houses middle of the night, stealing copper and destroying our neighborhoods. Okay. And I feel like if we do have police presence back into our neighborhoods, a lot of that stuff would be reduced.
Yeah, but people may think that people can move where they want to move, but now it's not just the police officers, because at one time we used to have block clubs, right? You know, and people had a responsibility to become more involved in making sure that those things didn't happen. Like you talked about the grass growing real high, and if you had a block club, people were responsible. Somebody will knock on your door and say, hey, we got a block club, you need to get rid of this. Or if a house was boarded up, people did that. So when you make the statement that, you know, policemen moving out and now there's not a sense of, what's the word I'm looking for now, a commitment or a heartfelt commitment to the city, some people might disagree with that.
And again, that's why I said that's just my opinion.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
and I'm not saying, you know, what I'm saying is absolutely correct again.
But you want to bring it back, though.
I would say, you know, if we have a stronger police presence living in our city, I believe that the crime in the city would be significantly reduced.
So how many people, now I don't know if you've done a study on this, but do you think that a significant amount of police officers, firefighters, and other workers have moved out? Or is that what you believe?
The majority of individuals or police officers that I've just talked to, just off record, just in passing, you know, or just in basic conversation, I've asked, do you live in the city of Detroit? And most of them don't.
Okay, let me ask you this. Now, if this is something that you can accomplish, and I really hope that you do, and I hope that we can get on board and help you do whatever you need to do, you know, our show and things like that to rally behind you. But what kind of incentive would you want to give police officers to move back into the city?
Right now, I believe our police morale is real low.
Okay.
I think with them taking the 10% pay cut that they just recently had to take, along with any other cuts that they've had to endure, I believe if you try to restore, you know, those cuts that they were taking, give them some type of opportunity or set up a program to where, you know, we give them. And with the city of Detroit having so many, you know, homes that they have on the list, now, you know, be it a home that's livable, a structural sound home, you know, give them the opportunity to come into the city, select one of those homes.
Okay.
You know, try to find out a program or ways for HUD dollars to come in and try to assist them in rebuilding that home.
Okay.
Once that home is actually, you know, up to code and everything is up to par with it, have the city to give that individual that home, and at the same time, based on their income, not on the house's worth, but based on their income, try to get a program or select some type of tax or income tax.
Okay, can you hold that thought? Okay, and when we come back after the break, I want you to expound on that. We'll be right back after the commercial break. Okay, thank you.
Do you have the right Medicare health plan? Are you saving money? And are you with the company you can rely on? The answer to your questions could be a Medicare supplement insurance plan from Humana with the benefits and savings you want. You can get all the facts in this free booklet, Making Medicare Supplement Insurance Work for You, and it's yours just by calling 1-888-238-5497.
For a competitive monthly premium, you get peace of mind knowing many of your medical costs will be covered, all from a company that's been helping people with Medicare for more than 20 years. And with a Medicare supplement plan like that offered by Humana, you always have the freedom to go to any doctor, specialist, or hospital.
The booklet is free and there's no obligation. So call now, 1-888-238-5497. That's 1-888-238-5497.
Not everyone can dunk, but everyone can dip. Checkers' new $2 Chicken Dippers box. White meat chicken deliciously seasoned, just begging to be dipped. 6 delicious dippers, plus Checkers' famous seasoned fries for an unbeatable $2. It's a slam dip. Checkers, feast on. Love loaded fries? Get them loaded 3 different ways, only at Checkers.
Every LASIK candidate deserves the best, and the Yaldo Eye Center, Michigan's leader, has performed more LASIK procedures than anyone in Michigan and always uses state-of-the-art lasers. Dr. Yaldo knows that affordability is a serious issue, and this week is offering LASIK for $6.99 an eye. Regardless of your prescription, you demand the best. That's why his patients say it's not just LASIK, it's LASIK with Dr. Yaldo. The Yaldo Eye Center. Call 1-888-881-2020.
Welcome back, everyone. We're joining Mr. Adam Munday talking about the Genesis Project. Adam, if you do decide to run for a political office, you're going to need the support of not just the citizens, the people, the common man. You're going to need the support of business people, You're going to need the support of politicians. You're going to need the support of anybody that can get involved with some monies, because this is not going to just be something you can go in your own pocket and take care of.
Right,
absolutely. So tell me, what do you intend to do?
Well, my main focus is going to be the revitalization of our neighborhoods. I believe once we get people back into the city, everything else will fall into place. The funds will be here. People will, the income tax will be here. With money coming into the city, we'll be able to do more. We'll be able to pay more for police. We'll be able to do more within the city. Crime can be reduced, and the progress can be increased. We've got to think of some ways, and I've said this a few times before, we got to think outside the box, inside the city.
Okay.
And I mean, whatever creative ways that we can come up with to try to restore that, I'm willing to do.
Okay, so do you have a plan to raise funds for this Genesis project?
Well, at this point, what we initially wanted to do, we wanted to go to small businesses in the areas, your gas stations, your party stores, Coney Islands, all these businesses that consume our money on an everyday basis. Go to them and say, hey, you live or your business is in this neighborhood. We need your involvement. With the Genesis project, and again, that's just for the Genesis project, not for any type of political, funds. But I mean, as far as the Genesis project itself, that's the way we want to try and that's the way we're talking about now as far as acquiring, funds. Anything else will be coming out of my pocket, obviously, as far as it relates to the Genesis project. But as far as my campaign, if I decided to run for anything, I haven't, come up with any type of plan yet, but I'm sure I'll come up with something significant.
But you do intend to if you do intend to run, okay, we're looking at the city council possibly, then you want to get them involved and everything.
Sure.
So now once that's done, and let's say you raise the monies and everything, how do you want to initiate getting people to sign up? Because I guess I'm asking these questions because, right now, I am a native Detroiter. Okay, again, been there, born, raised there all my life too. And I see some of the changes that you're talking about. But now we're here, we're in the 21st century, and we see all these things going on, the crime, the drugs, the homes going down, just the mindset. So I want to know, if you were to solicit me or ask me to get involved, what can I do as an individual, and how do I get others to get involved and help you achieve this goal?
Well, you got to have love for the city, for one, and that's the main thing. If you have love for the city, it's automatic. You'll want to get involved. You'll want to try to, to make your neighborhood and your community better. So it's just a matter of, just if this is your home and this is Detroit is your home, get involved. Get active. Come out to neighborhood meetings or block club meetings that's in your area. Get involved. Know what's going on. Get involved with your police precinct. Let your police know who you are, and hopefully we can all get together and try to get this thing done for the city.
So what about bringing back black clubs? I think they worked last time. What do you think? Do you think they've worked?
Black clubs work fantastic. In fact, there are several black clubs now that are still working. Yes, we could use more, but the black clubs that are in existence now do a phenomenal job in the communities.
Yeah, what about the grants? There were times when you had community grants people can go to and apply for if their homes were run down. Okay, what about that? These are some of the plans.
Well, that's something that's dealing with, the legislative body of the city. So, I really can't comment right now on that because I'm not a legislator. I'm not in the position to be, talking about that. I'm not a legislator.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to, push that, but I'm just giving you something to think about. Because
yeah, absolutely.
Because remember, I keep saying that it's not just enough to do a physical sweep. When you change the mindset of a man and you change his heart, you change the man.
Absolutely.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, I would like to see, now I'm not trying to tell you how to do your project, but I would like to see, after you do the sweep and get everybody involved to clean up the city, I would like to see things in place where people can actually go to a class or something or get professionals on board to actually help people to understand that once we do this work in the city, we have to keep it that way, okay? And by keeping it that way means, what can I do? What do I need to do to change my mindset and to understand that, this is wrong how we've been doing it, and this is the right way to do it. Do you understand my question? Because it's not just enough, like I said, to do a clean sweep.
And that's a good question. I wish I had a good answer for that. It's just about the person's mindset, in my opinion. If it's truly about the safety and your safety as a resident, if it's truly about your love for the city of Detroit, you'll do whatever it takes to make it right.
Okay, but you're going to try your best.
I'm going to do whatever I can.
Okay, so we're going to try to sign up. So let me know, when can we sign up?
You can go to the Facebook. It's facebook.com/Genesis Project 3D. You can go there. If you're interested in getting involved with us, please send us a shout out and we'll get back with you, definitely.
Okay, well, we are getting ready to go to a break. In fact, what we want to do right now, I want to just ask you the last comment. Look into your camera and to tell people, what we can do to get involved with the Genesis Project.
Just get involved. Get involved in your community. Get involved in your neighborhoods. Your love for your community and your neighborhood will say enough.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll be back after this message, and we're back with my inspirational thought.
If you or someone you know has overcame great challenges in life, be it health, life experiences, or a spiritual journey, email Dr. T Show at www.producer@drtford.com. To advertise, donate, or support this program, contact us today at www.producer@drtford.com. More information on this program is available at drtford.com.
GNLD, empowering people since 1958 with life-changing products. Vitality Aloe Vera Plus reduces stress, fights fatigue, normalizes blood sugar. Trianin, grain concentrate, enhanced cellular function. Full motion, renews and repairs cartilage in joints for comfort. For more information, call the ESIM team, independent GNLD distributors at 313-408-6489. 313-408-6489. GNLD.
Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. Many of you are in need of a breakthrough in your lives. It may be a financial need, spiritual fulfillment, or physical healing. Whatever the need may be, the key to receiving a breakthrough is through the act of giving. I would like to share with you the keys to effective giving that will ensure that you will experience your breakthrough in every area of your life. Be willing to give of your resources, whether it's money, your gifts and talents, or your time, whenever it is needed. Make sure you give with the right motive and be a cheerful giver. Sow a seed into another person's mission or ministry. When you give, name your seed by giving your seed an assignment. And anticipate and get ready to receive your harvest and experience your breakthrough. And always remember to be an inspiration to others as you discover your own uniqueness. God bless.